God is screaming. He saw the one who cursed you, and it's impossible to stop him without you. Hurry, God is begging you to open this message immediately before tonight at 11:45 p.m. If you skip this, you'll regret it forever. Listen carefully. There is a shaking in the spirit realm right now. God is not whispering. He is not speaking gently. He is screaming your name because something has happened in the dark. Someone who hates your light, your calling, your breakthrough, has cursed you behind your back, and God saw it. He saw it all. The words that were spoken, the evil that was plotted, and his righteous anger has been stirred. But here's the truth. He cannot stop what is moving against you unless you rise up with him now. If you walk away from this, if you scroll past or ignore this cry from heaven, you may miss a blessing that was meant to break the curse before midnight. Comment, Amen, if you are still reading and believe this isn't an accident. This is for you. God is screaming because the time is short. He's seen the attack formed by the enemy, and he's standing between you and disaster, but you must stand with him. You are not just some random soul. You are his child. The enemy thought he could destroy you quietly, but he forgot who your Father is. The one who created heaven and earth is not sitting silently while his chosen one is cursed. He's crying out, begging you to open your heart right now, to not walk away, because something that was meant to block your breakthrough is about to be reversed if you respond with faith. He's been watching the battle around you, even the one you never told anyone about, the silent tears, the betrayals, the disappointments, the late nights you asked, God, do you even see me? Yes, he does. And today he's screaming from the heavens because he knows the weight of the curse spoken over you, but he also holds the blessing that will shatter it. Let your heart open right now. Don't let pride or distraction steal this moment. God is not speaking this softly because there's no time left for gentle whispers. This is a midnight cry. If you ignore this moment, it may not return. Tonight, before 11:45 p.m., the heavens are open, and what you do now matters more than you can imagine. Comment 1111 if you believe that divine alignment is happening right now for you. God saw the one who spoke against you. Not just words, but intention, a spirit of jealousy, a spirit of bitterness, a heart poisoned by hate. They cursed your joy, your future, your family, your calling. But God stood up, and when he stands up, no force in hell can keep sitting. He is not waiting for you to be perfect. He's waiting for you to respond. He's waiting for you to believe that what he saw, he will deal with if you let him in now. This message isn't a coincidence. That thing you've been sensing lately? The strange heaviness, the sudden delays, the repeated failures, they aren't random. The curse was real. But the power of God is greater. That's why he's screaming. Because if you don't hear him now, the delay could become destruction. And he never created you for defeat. Listen, he's not angry at you. He's angry at what's trying to steal from you. You are not cursed, you are chosen. And the curse cannot stick where the blood of Jesus has marked a child of God. But you have to answer. The blessing that's prepared to strike down that curse is waiting for your faith to unlock it. Don't harden your heart. This is not fear, this is a warning born out of deep love. You've been prayed for. You've been watched over. Angels have stood over your bed at night while you slept through storms that were meant to destroy you. And now the voice of God is rising like thunder, not to scare you, but to awaken you. You are more loved than you know. And yes, someone cursed you. But God has already written a counterattack in the heavens, one that comes with protection, healing, elevation, and favor. But the enemy is hoping you stay distracted. He's hoping you laugh this off. Because if you do, you let him win. But if you stand up now, if you believe, if you declare, God, I hear you, everything begins to change. And yes, like I said before, if this word speaks to your soul and you feel the tears welling or your spirit stirring, like this video, that one act may be the agreement in the spirit that shifts your entire season. You're not forgotten. You're not forsaken. The fact that you're reading this right now means that God has not given up on you, not even close. He is nearer than you think, closer than your breath. And he is weeping for you, fighting for you, screaming for you, because what was meant to bury you is about to become the reason you rise. There are things being decided in the spiritual world right now. Don't think that just because you can't see it, it's not happening. Angels are moving, demons are trembling, and your name is being spoken in heaven because God is preparing something for you, a reversal, a restoration, a redemption, but you must act before the hour turns, before the clock hits 11:45 p.m. That's not just a time, that's a prophetic line drawn in the Spirit. God doesn't need time to bless you, but he sets divine appointments, and this is one of them. So pray, speak life, renounce the curse, call on his name. Let your faith rise, even if your strength feels low, because this isn't about your power, it's about his, and his power never runs dry. What if everything you've been taught about money is a lie? A hidden 9-word prayer buried in a classified FBI report is now helping thousands attract wealth without lifting a finger. Scientists say it activates a 150-million-year-old part of your brain that controls abundance. Harvard-backed, lab-tested, life-changing. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. Your enemies may laugh now, but soon they will watch God elevate you in ways that silence every lie. They cursed your name, but God is writing your name in places they can't reach. They tried to shut doors, but God is building you your own gate. He saw the envy, the lies, the darkness, and he knew that if you didn't respond, if you didn't come into agreement with him now, their curse would begin to settle over your life like a storm. But he's not letting that happen. That's why he's crying out like this. That's why this is reaching you now. Because you still have time, but not much. The door will begin to close soon, and he's begging you not to miss it. Comment 222 if you trust that God is already fighting the battle you can't see. You are standing in the middle of a spiritual collision. What was sent to destroy you is clashing with what God has planned for you. This is not a coincidence. The shaking in your life lately, the resistance, the confusion, even the moments where it felt like everything was going wrong, these were signs of the curse trying to take root. But God has been hovering over you. He's been whispering in your dreams, sending signs, placing this word in front of you all to say, I saw it, I know what they did, and I'm not staying silent. Do not treat this like another moment online. This is not entertainment, this is war, and you are not alone in it. The enemy hoped you would stay distracted, that you would scroll past this and laugh it off. But the Spirit of God is resting on you right now, and you can feel it. Your heart is pounding, your soul knows. This is real. Heaven is breaking through, and God is asking you to respond. He doesn't need you to be perfect. He needs you to be willing, to believe, to say, Lord, I'm here, I hear you, I believe you, because the curse cannot stand against a surrendered heart. You don't have to carry the weight of what they said. You don't have to carry the fear of what might happen. You are not helpless. You are a child of the Most High, and your God is roaring like a lion right now, reminding every demon that you are his. There is power in your agreement, power in your obedience. When you align your heart with heaven, chains start breaking, curses get reversed, delays get lifted, blessings that were held up begin to move freely. And right now, God is pushing things forward in the Spirit for you, but He needs your yes. He needs your trust. God is calling you out of the fear that's kept you quiet, out of the shame that told you you were too broken to be blessed. He's breaking that off of you now. You are not too late. You are not too far. What they did to you didn't destroy you. It activated heaven on your behalf. God heard every hidden word they spoke against you, and now He is speaking louder, louder than the curse, louder than the enemy, louder than your doubts. You don't have to fight this battle alone. He's already gone ahead of you. But you have to open the door. You have to allow Him to step in, because this isn't just about stopping a curse. It's about releasing the life you were meant to live. The freedom, the joy, the anointing, the abundance, the divine calling. You were born for more than fear. You were made for more than silence, and heaven is moving on your behalf right now. God is not done. He's not tired. He's not second-guessing His love for you. He is locked in, determined, focused. His eyes are on you, and His voice is like thunder in the heavens. He's shaking things that were meant to remain hidden, exposing enemies in disguise, uncovering old wounds so they can finally heal. And through it all, He's saying one thing: I'm still here. I'm still with you. I'm still fighting. Comment 333 to declare your faith in the God who never left you. You may not have seen the full weight of the curse, but you've felt its effects, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers, the friendships that turned cold for no reason, the way things always seem to fall apart just when you start hoping. That wasn't just life, that was war, spiritual interference. But it's ending now. Because where the enemy worked in the shadows, God is shining light. And what has been hidden is being revealed, not to shame you, but to save you. Tonight matters, not because of fear, but because of prophecy. God has marked this window in time for your deliverance. And if you lean into it, if you grab hold of His voice now, what was meant to destroy you will become the platform that lifts you. Every word spoken against you will be turned into a testimony. Every plan meant to delay you will become a path to greater purpose. You are not cursed. You are called. You are not forgotten. You are favored. And the one who made you is screaming this into your soul because He knows what's waiting on the other side of your surrender. Don't let your doubts drown out His voice. Don't let the weight of the past keep you from the miracle that's already been written in heaven with your name on it. There is still time, but not much. Heaven is counting down. The angels are moving. The Spirit is hovering. And God is still screaming, not because He's panicked, but because He loves you too much to stay quiet. He heard the name they whispered, and it was yours. But you weren't meant to be destroyed. You were meant to rise. That's why He's shouting. That's why His voice is shaking your spirit even now. He's begging you not to walk away. Not now. Not when the turning point is so close. Why are neuroscientists obsessed with a 9-word sentence? Because this sentence, spoken once a day, is turning financial stress into sudden blessings. More than 19,000 people have already used it to erase debt and unlock a life of wealth, freedom, and peace. The results are so powerful, some believe it's divine. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. You felt the pressure. The way things suddenly went wrong, without explanation, the tension in your spirit that never made sense, the dreams you had that crumbled. It wasn't bad luck, it wasn't random, it was an assignment. But it failed, and it failed because God intercepted it. He caught the arrow midair and said, "Not this one, not my child, but you still need to listen, because the enemy hasn't stopped yet. And this moment might be your only chance to seal the victory that's already been started." Comment 555 if you believe God is sealing this breakthrough over your life. You've been under spiritual pressure for a reason. Every breakthrough carries weight, every calling attracts warfare, and you, child of God, are called. There's oil on your life. There's something in your spirit that threatens the enemy. That's why the curses came. That's why people turned against you. That's why doors that were wide open slammed shut. The enemy didn't want you to rise. But God won't let you fall. Not now. Not when He's invested so much in your purpose. Some of the people who smiled in your face secretly hoped to see you fall. But God will not let the desires of the wicked succeed. He will not let their jealousy ruin your future. He saw their hands moving, their mouths speaking, their hearts twisting with darkness. And He declared war, not against them, but against the spirit working through them. He is not screaming because He's angry at you. He's screaming because He loves you too much to let this slide past you unnoticed. He's waited for the right moment to bring you into this truth. And now, with time running out, He's shouting from the heavens that this is it. This is your moment, your hour of release. The curse that tried to delay your marriage, your calling, your finances, your peace, your mind, it's being broken. But you have to partner with Him. You have to say, "Yes, Lord, I receive what you're doing." You may feel tired. You may feel like giving up, but don't. The reason the enemy fought you so hard was because of how close you are. Heaven has already begun moving things in your favor. But the curse tried to block it. It tried to shut the flow. That's why you felt stuck. But the moment you agree with God, that blockage has to go. That spirit has to release what it tried to hold back. The devil doesn't fight those who pose no threat. And you, whether you feel it or not, are a threat. Not because of who you are in your own strength, but because of who lives inside of you. The Spirit of God has marked you. Heaven's favor has been written over your name. You are not ordinary. And God refuses to stay silent while the enemy tries to treat you like you are. You may not have had people to defend you. Maybe no one stood up when you were being spoken against. But God stood up. He stood up in silence. He stood up in grief. He stood up with a sword drawn in His hand. Because you are not unprotected. You are not overlooked. You are not abandoned. You are His. And He will defend His own. Comment 1212 if you feel the Spirit of God reminding you who you truly are. This isn't the time to shrink back. This is the time to speak what God is saying. Declare His truth. Cancel every lie. Rebuke the curse. Tear down the stronghold. Because when you speak in agreement with heaven, the earth has to respond. Angels move when faith is released. Demons flee when truth is spoken. And tonight, your words can shift the very atmosphere around your life. God is reminding you that He doesn't scream without reason. His voice has weight. His voice carries fire. When He speaks, mountains move. When He shouts, the enemy flees. So if He is screaming now, it means something urgent is happening, something eternal, something that you can't afford to ignore. The next chapter of your life hinges on how you respond in this moment. Do not sit in silence. Do not let this moment pass like any other. Open your mouth. Open your heart. Open your spirit. Say, "God, I trust you. I receive what you're saying. I believe you saw the curse, and I know you're powerful enough to break it." The person who cursed you didn't understand who you belong to. They didn't know that God has a covenant over your life, that there are promises wrapped around your name that cannot be destroyed by the words of bitter people. They didn't realize that touching you meant touching the apple of God's eye. And now God is acting. He's not asking for perfection. He's asking for faith. He's asking for surrender. He's asking for your agreement, because the blessing that's about to break loose will be too big for doubt to hold. This is the kind of breakthrough that not only lifts you up but breaks chains in your entire family. The kind that heals things that have been broken for years. The kind that erases the shame you've been carrying silently. You are not alone in this. Heaven is leaning over the edge right now, watching to see if you'll respond. Angels are ready to move. They're waiting on the word of God from your lips. The curse was real, but it's powerless compared to the blessing that's chasing you now. He saw the one who cursed you, but he also sees you, still standing, still hoping, still praying, even when you feel like giving up. That's why he's screaming, because you haven't quit. And he's making sure you don't lose now. There was no whisper hidden from his ear. No plan covered from his sight. He saw the moment their heart turned against you, and that's when heaven stood still, because it mattered that much. You mattered that much. And right now, he is still shouting, still pleading with urgency, because the time is closing and your window is narrow. This banned wealth signal was hidden in a government vault for over 70 years until now. It's a simple 9-word brain trigger used by elites to attract unlimited money while the rest of the world struggles. But the moment too many people see this, it could be deleted. Click the link in the description and comments before it's taken down forever. You may feel overwhelmed. You may even wonder why it matters. But it does. That curse wasn't just words, it was spiritual sabotage, wrapped in fake smiles and silent envy. And it nearly succeeded. You felt it. You saw the things start to dry up. You felt the joy dim and the confusion take over. That wasn't chance. That was the impact. But God intercepted it. His mercy surrounded you before the damage could finish what it started. And now he needs you to come into agreement, because your faith activates the final blow to that curse. Comment 777 if you believe that what the enemy meant for harm, God is turning for good. Don't let the weight of what you've been through tell you that it's too late. It's not. In fact, what you survived is proof that God's hand never left you. The thing that was sent to break you didn't succeed. You didn't fall apart. You're still standing, and that's because God shielded you, even when you didn't know you needed shielding. His protection was covering you when you were unaware. His grace was fighting when you were too tired to speak. But now is the time to do more than survive. Now is the time to be restored. Because the enemy didn't just want to slow you down, he wanted to bury your purpose. And God has something to say about that. He's screaming because this moment is sacred. The hour is close, and if you don't respond now, if you turn away or delay, the recovery you need may be missed. And God doesn't want you to miss it. He saw the curse, but he also saw your potential. That's why the enemy fought you. That's why some relationships turned cold without reason. Why your progress kept stalling, why the clarity you once had felt foggy. The curse wasn't just random, and you were never being dramatic. It was real. But the Spirit of God is more real. And his voice right now is cutting through the fog, breaking through the barrier, pushing through the delay, to say, I will not let this destroy you, but I need you to move with me. The reason this moment matters is because curses don't break by accident. They break by choice, by surrender, by alignment with truth. And God is offering you that now. You can let go of what was said over you, the lies, the judgment, the hatred. You can walk free, not because you're strong enough, but because he's already made a way. But if you don't walk through that open door now, the enemy will try again. and God is pleading with you to shut it once and for all. This isn't just about surviving. It's about being restored to who you were always meant to be. The version of you before the betrayal, before the attack, before the delay. That version is still alive inside you. God hasn't forgotten, and He hasn't changed His mind. What He promised you still stands, but this is the moment where you decide to step out of the fog of what others said and step into the light of what God has said. Comment 999 if you know God is redeeming every part of your story right now. You are chosen, marked, set apart. That's why this battle has been so fierce. Not because you are weak, but because your calling is weighty. Because what you carry will shake things. Because your yes to God will break generational cycles. And the enemy is terrified of that. He doesn't want you to rise. He doesn't want you to believe this word. He wants you to close your heart, to scroll away, to go back to normal. But God is not letting that happen without a fight. He's been fighting for you when no one else knew you needed defending. He's been covering you while you cried quietly. He's been catching your breathless prayers, even when they came out in silence. And now He is screaming because this is not the season to stay silent. It's time to agree, to rise, to speak, to receive. This isn't just about breaking the curse. It's about preparing the ground for the blessing. Because once the curse is broken, the blessing is released, and it's already on the way. You will see open doors. You will feel peace again. You will notice strength returning. Because what's been pressing against you is being lifted. The weight is being broken. The lies are being silenced, and the truth of God is taking its place. You're going to look back and see this as the moment where everything shifted, not because of a feeling, but because of obedience. Because you stopped ignoring that tug in your spirit and said, God, I hear you. That's all He needed. Your yes has power. Your faith is a weapon. And tonight, before the hour strikes, that faith is putting an end to everything sent to delay your destiny. So take this seriously. Don't brush it off. Don't think it's for someone else. It's for you. Your name was in the middle of that curse, but your name is also in the middle of God's plan. And that plan is bigger, stronger, eternal. The curse wasn't just someone's bitterness. It was a spiritual attack rooted in darkness, spoken with the intent to block your purpose, steal your joy, and bury your blessings. God didn't just hear it, He saw the intent behind it. And that's what shook Him. That's what stirred Him to cry out like this. Because this isn't a light matter. This is life-changing. You are standing in the middle of a moment that could alter everything. He's not warning you to scare you. He's warning you because He loves you. Because He already knows what you're up against, and He knows what's at stake. He has seen the traps set for you. He has seen the people smile to your face while planning your failure behind closed doors. He saw the one who tried to curse your name, and it grieved His heart, because they didn't just speak against you, they spoke against the anointing He placed on you. Comment 1010 if you believe that no curse can cancel what God has spoken over your life. Can just saying 9 words daily actually make money flow into your life? A top neuroscientist says yes, and the FBI accidentally confirmed it. This forgotten prayer is now transforming ordinary people into debt-free and financially free for life. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the link in description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. The enemy wants to convince you that this is all too much, that you're too broken to fight, too tired to believe. That's why the attacks have come in waves. That's why the confusion won't let up. Because if he can wear you down, he thinks you'll miss what's been set aside for you. But God has stepped in, not quietly, not passively, but with a roar. with a cry so loud it can shake chains off your spirit and silence the voice of every liar who ever spoke against you. You are not cursed, you are covered. You are not forgotten, you are favored. You are not alone, you are surrounded by the presence of the Almighty God, who is still speaking your name in the heavens. The curse had a deadline, but so does the breakthrough. And God is warning you, if you don't respond now, if you don't believe now, if you don't open your heart before this night is over, the moment might pass. Not because He stopped loving you, but because some blessings are tied to obedience in the window they were sent. He's not asking you to fix everything. He's asking you to trust, to open the door, to let Him in. Because what He's about to release will not only cancel the curse, it will rebuild what was torn down. It will restore what was stolen. It will redeem what you thought was ruined. This is bigger than just protection. This is divine justice, and it's being written over your life as you read this. There's a reason you felt the shift, a reason why the atmosphere around you has felt tense. The spirit realm has been stirred. Angels have been dispatched. Heaven has been watching closely. Because your life carries weight. Your voice carries impact. The enemy wanted to take that away from you. But God is reinforcing it now, strengthening it, reclaiming the ground that was stolen from under your feet. Comment 1515 if you believe that what was meant for your downfall is turning into your testimony. This moment is sacred, not because of fear, but because of purpose. There are certain doors that only open when faith rises at the right time, and this is that time. The door is open, but not for long. Heaven's cry is not desperate, it's urgent. There's a difference. God isn't panicking, He's planning, He's preparing, He's putting things in place, but you must be part of it. He cannot override your will. That's why He's pleading. That's why His voice is loud and relentless. He saw the one who cursed you, the words spoken in anger, the bitterness hiding behind a smile. He saw the envy that turned into sabotage. And it grieved Him not just because it hurt you, but because it delayed what was meant to bless you. And He's restoring that now. But He needs you to believe again, to hope again, to pray like it matters, because it does. You may not feel strong enough, but that's not what He's asking for. He's asking for your surrender. He's asking you to let go of the bitterness, the fear, the voices that told you nothing would change. Because it is changing. Right now. Even as you read this, things are shifting around you. The curse is losing its grip. The heaviness is beginning to lift. The atmosphere around your life is being cleared. The places where the enemy found permission are being closed off. This isn't just a message. It's a moment. A turning point, and you're standing right in the middle of it. What you do with it will matter. If you walk away, you might carry the residue of the curse longer than you were ever meant to. But if you believe, if you receive, if you speak faith in this moment, God will move faster than you can imagine. Your future is not in the hands of those who cursed you, it's in the hands of the one who formed you. And His hands are mighty to save. His hands are strong enough to lift you from the lowest place. His voice is loud because His love is fierce. He is not playing with your destiny. He's not quiet when it comes to your purpose. And He's certainly not willing to lose you to the plans of the enemy. Let this shake you awake. Let this open your eyes. You've been carrying more than just stress. You've been under spiritual attack. And God is calling it out now, not to expose you, but to free you. You don't have to walk under that curse anymore. You don't have to accept it as your fate. The lies, the losses, the repeated failures, they are not your identity. They were a storm, and God is silencing it. God saw it all the moment they set their heart against you, the moment their words were coated in malice, and the moment they intended harm to your name, your calling, your future. And now God is rising with fierce love, pleading for your attention, because the spiritual realm is still shaking, and you are the one He has chosen to finish this. You may not realize how deep this goes. The curse wasn't just meant to make you stumble, it was meant to cut off your destiny. It was designed to frustrate your purpose, to delay your breakthrough, to confuse your mind so you would forget who you are. That's why the pressure hasn't stopped. That's why certain doors haven't opened. It wasn't just life, it was interference. But the moment you come into agreement with God, everything that's been blocked begins to move. Comment 1717 if you believe God is about to release everything that's been held back. God isn't asking for your perfection, He's asking for your presence, your heart, your surrender. He knows what you've been through. He knows the tears you've cried alone, the nights when you felt like nothing made sense anymore. He knows how hard it's been to trust again, to pray again, to believe again. But He's still here, still crying out for you, still ready to fight what's been fighting you. Why are 55 countries using the same mysterious money script? Because a leaked research file just exposed a 9-word pattern that activates wealth-attracting pathways in the brain. Repeat it daily and watch money flow like water into your life. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. This is not just a spiritual message, it's a rescue. A call from your Father who saw the enemy's hand trying to shape your life, and He said, "No more." But He needs your yes. He needs your faith. Because the enemy only has power where there's agreement, and tonight, that agreement is being broken. Heaven is roaring, angels are moving, chains are snapping. But you must respond. You were never forgotten, never forsaken. You were never meant to live under the shadow of someone else's curse. The one who made you has declared favor over you, and nothing spoken against you can cancel that unless you let it. And tonight, God is begging you not to let it. Don't walk in the words they said about you. Don't accept the limits they tried to place on you. Don't let their bitterness define your future. God has already made provision. He has already prepared the blessing. But the release is tied to your agreement, your obedience, your faith. And that's why this moment is urgent. Not because God is running out of power, but because the hour is short. There is something sacred about this window, something divine. And the enemy knows it. That's why he's tried to distract you, confuse you, wear you out. But don't listen to his lies. You are still standing, and that means it's not over. Comment, Amen, if you feel the Spirit of God lifting the weight that's been sitting on your heart. You were made to walk in authority, to live as a vessel of God's glory. But the curse tried to blind you to that. It made you doubt your value. It made you question your voice. It tried to convince you that you were forgotten, that you were stuck, that nothing would ever change. But here's the truth, the curse only lasts as long as the lie is believed. And the moment you stop believing it, it loses its grip. God is screaming because He's calling you out of agreement with every lie. He's breaking the silence that tried to smother your identity. You are His child, His anointed, His beloved. You are not a mistake. You are not a failure. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be to receive what He's about to release if you stay open. Heaven is not backing down. God is not pulling away. His cry is one of fierce protection. You've been through storms that would have destroyed someone else, but you didn't break. You bent, yes. You wept. You struggled, but you're still here. and God wants you to know that He saw it all. And He's proud. He hasn't forgotten one moment you stayed faithful when it was hard. Not one tear has been missed. Not one battle has gone unnoticed. This is why the blessing is going to be heavy, because the cost has been deep. This is why the reversal will shock even those who counted you out. God's justice is not slow, it's precise. And right now, His voice is setting things in order. He's overturning what was spoken in hate. He's uprooting what was planted in bitterness. And He's replacing it with grace, with honor, with restoration. But you must choose. You must decide that tonight is the night you stop giving the curse space in your life, that you stop letting it echo louder than God's promise, that you reject every lie, every fear, every delay that was never meant to stay. Because the blessing is ready, but it cannot rest where fear is fed. You don't need to understand it all. You just need to believe. God is not asking you to fight alone. He's already fighting for you. But your faith gives Him full permission to move. Speak it. Declare it. Say, God, I trust You. I reject every curse. I receive Your covering. Because when you do, heaven responds. The one who cursed you doesn't have the final word. God does. And His word over your life is still alive, still active, still undefeated. No weapon formed against you will prosper, not because of your strength, but because of His promise. And that promise doesn't expire. It's still holding, still waiting, still unfolding. God is drawing near. His presence is surrounding you like a whirlwind. Not because you're in danger, but because your deliverance is in motion. What was sent to harm you is about to bow at the feet of the one who defends you. That curse was designed to follow you. It was meant to track your progress and shut down every open door. It was meant to wrap around your name like a shadow, to delay what heaven has already spoken over you. But God is declaring war on that curse right now. And He's not doing it in silence. He's screaming. Because this isn't about small things. This is about destiny. And your destiny cannot be handed over to the words of people who never knew your worth. You didn't deserve what they said. You didn't earn that betrayal. You didn't ask for that spiritual attack. But it came anyway. Because the enemy sees the mark on your life. He sees what you're carrying. He knows what will happen when you walk in full obedience. That's why the curse came. Not to slow you down, but to stop you. But God is breaking through the noise now. His voice is louder than every lie, every hex, every dark word spoken against you. Comment, Amen, if you believe God's voice is louder than any curse ever spoken over you. You've been carrying this weight long enough. You've questioned why things fall apart just as they begin to look hopeful. Why people turn against you without reason. Why moments of joy are so quickly followed by confusion and fear. These weren't coincidences. They were spiritual consequences of words spoken behind your back, of intentions formed in secret places, fueled by jealousy and darkness. What secret did the FBI hide about your brain and money? They discovered a phrase just 9 words long that flips a switch in your mind to attract wealth without effort. It's already changed the lives of thousands of people in just weeks. If you're seeing this, you're lucky the page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. But no more. God is standing between you and the curse. His spirit is rising up, and He is shouting your name into the winds of battle, not to scare you, but to remind every spirit of darkness who you belong to. You are not theirs to curse. You are God's to protect, and He will not stay silent while His child is targeted. The time is near, the window is narrowing. Before 11:45 p.m., something must be settled. Something in the spirit must be answered by your obedience. Heaven is not waiting forever. God doesn't force himself on anyone, but he will knock as loud as necessary until you hear him, and this is that knock. The shaking you feel inside isn't anxiety, it's spiritual alertness. It's heaven aligning with you, calling you out of delay and into decision. Comment 222 if you trust that God is breaking every delay set against your life. You are not helpless in this. You are not standing on the battlefield alone. The enemy may have surrounded you, but heaven surrounds him, and your Father is not quiet when his children are threatened. That's why his voice is breaking into your life with such urgency. That's why you feel the weight of this word in your chest, deep in your soul, because this is not just encouragement, it's a spiritual instruction. And you're running out of time to respond. There's still a battle happening in the unseen. There's still resistance trying to keep you stuck. But your surrender, your agreement with God's truth, is the weapon that unlocks the victory. You don't need to fight with fear. You don't need to figure it all out. You just need to agree with heaven. Just say, God, I trust you. I break agreement with every curse. I receive what you've declared over me. And when you do, the shift begins. The atmosphere around your life begins to change. The weight begins to lift. The lies begin to fall silent. Because heaven never speaks without power. And when God screams your name into battle, every demon assigned to stop you has to bow. The person who cursed you may never admit what they did. They may still walk around pretending they meant no harm. But God knows the heart. He knows what was hidden. He saw the moment they turned. He saw the intent. And while you were still wondering what you did wrong, God was preparing to make it right. He's not just trying to comfort you, he's about to vindicate you. He's about to place something in your hands that no one will be able to deny, and the very ones who cursed you will have to watch as God blesses you anyway. This isn't about revenge, it's about restoration. It's about justice. It's about the power of a father who refuses to let his child walk in shame. So don't pull away. Don't give in to the temptation to dismiss this. It may feel intense, but that's because it matters. This is a moment that heaven has been building toward, and you are right in the middle of it. God isn't yelling without purpose. He's moving. He's pouring, he's shifting, and he's demanding the curse release you now. Your calling is too important, your anointing is too rare, your heart is too valuable. The plans of the enemy will not win unless you let them. But you won't, because something inside you knows this is different. This isn't just another word, this is the sound of your freedom. And it's getting louder. He is not warning you to cause fear, he is warning you because time is running short, and what was sent to harm you is close to completing its assignment if you do nothing. But God refuses to let that happen. His voice is thundering because he saw the one who cursed you, and he knows the damage it was meant to cause. And he knows without your agreement, without your faith, it cannot be stopped. You are not just someone in the crowd. You are the one he saw. You are the one who was targeted. And you are the one he is calling out to now. This cry is personal. Heaven is not shouting into the wind. God is calling your name, and you can feel it. That pull in your chest, that pressure in your heart, that stirring in your soul, that's the Holy Spirit shaking you, waking you up before the clock runs out. Comment, Amen, if your spirit knows this is not a coincidence and this word is meant for you. What you've been facing lately hasn't been random. The disappointment, the confusion, the strange heaviness that won't go away. These are signs of the curse at work. Spoken words can bind things. They can shut doors, twist outcomes, confuse opportunities. And that's what's been happening behind the scenes in your life. The curse was designed to quietly undo the progress God was building. But it didn't succeed because God stepped in. Still, He's warning you. If you don't come into agreement with Him, if you don't stand with Him before the appointed time, the curse will try to grow again. It's not enough that God is fighting. You must stand with Him. Your faith matters. Your belief matters. Because God will never force His will where your heart is closed. That's why He's screaming. That's why this feels urgent. Because you have to choose now. Before the door closes, He saw the one who cursed you. He heard the exact words, not just what was said out loud, but what was said in the heart. The jealousy, the quiet malice, the desire to see you fall. God sees everything, even what people hide. He saw the smile they gave you. He saw the kindness they faked. He saw the seed they tried to plant behind your back. And His heart burned with holy anger, not against you, but for you. A neuroscientist says yes. A 9-word script, long buried in government files, can fire up a prehistoric brainwave that pulls money in faster. This breakthrough is already under legal pressure and could disappear any second. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. That's why He's still crying out. Because He knows the curse tried to shape your future, tried to make you believe you weren't called, weren't loved, weren't covered. It tried to shift your identity, turn you into someone afraid to believe again. But God is calling you out of that lie. He's speaking truth so loud right now that even the enemy can hear it. And when God speaks, nothing can remain the same. Comment 1111 if you believe heaven is aligning this moment for your deliverance. You are on the edge of something. That's why the battle has felt harder than usual. That's why you've been so tired. It's not just life, it's warfare. It's spiritual interference, because the enemy knows your next step is going to be powerful. The curse was timed for now, because your breakthrough is closer than it's ever been. But here's the good news. What was sent to stop you will now be the thing that proves how strong your God is. He will not let this curse define your story. He will not let the enemy have the last word. The same God who spoke the universe into being is speaking over you right now. And His word is life. His word is healing. His word is justice. The curse is powerless where His word reigns. But again, you must choose to believe Him. You must open your mouth and speak what He is saying. You must agree with the truth, even when you feel weak, especially when you feel weak. Because faith isn't about feeling strong. It's about trusting the one who is strong, and He is strong. He is mighty. He is your defender. He is your banner in battle. He is your shield and your sword. He is the Lion of Judah roaring for you, and the roar of God shakes every curse into dust, but only if you believe it. This is not the time to stay silent. This is not the time to brush it off. You've done that before, and you've seen the pain that follows when you ignore His voice. But now, mercy is still calling. Grace is still open, and your Father is still pleading, not because He's powerless, but because He's giving you a chance to rise with Him. The one who cursed you may have spoken death, but God is speaking life. And life always wins. The curse may have delayed some things, but it cannot cancel what God has ordained. There are blessings hovering over your life right now, waiting for permission to fall. There are doors ready to swing open. There are healings, reconciliations, promotions, provisions already written in your story, and the only thing standing in the way is the agreement that needs to happen between you and heaven. Say it now. Say it out loud if you need to. I come out of agreement with every curse. I break every lie spoken against me. I receive God's truth. I receive His protection. I walk in His blessing. These words are not magic. They are alignment. And alignment with God changes everything. He's still screaming, because He loves you too deeply to let you settle for a life under spiritual shadows. You were made to walk in the light. You were created to carry purpose. You were called to shift atmospheres and tear down darkness wherever you go. He is not shouting into silence. He is calling directly to you. Because the hour is near, the danger is real, and what happens next depends on your response. God is not worried. He is determined to stop what was spoken against you, determined to overturn what was planted in secret, determined to see you walk in the blessing that hell tried to delay. This is why He won't stop speaking, because there is more to your story, because the curse didn't win, because no matter how deep the wound, how loud the lie, how strong the resistance, God is stronger, and the power of His voice is aimed at lifting you from everything that tried to hold you down. The curse cannot stand where the blood of Jesus has already spoken, but that truth must be received. The promise must be claimed. And tonight, before the clock runs out, heaven is offering you a divine exchange. Every curse for His covering, every attack for His authority. Comment Amen if you're ready to walk under heaven's protection and release every word that wasn't from God. This is the battle God has been preparing for, the one that started the moment the enemy saw your potential. The moment the enemy realized your voice had power, your prayers had fire, and your life carried purpose, that's when the curse was born. It was never about who you are today, it was always about who you are becoming. Because the devil is terrified of what happens when you fully believe what God says about you. That's why the curse was so specific. That's why it came through someone who knew your weakness, someone who understood how to twist the truth just enough to make you question yourself. The enemy uses what's close to cut the deepest. But what he didn't expect was that God would step in this forcefully, that heaven would rise up and shout so loud that it would wake you from everything trying to numb your spirit. You are not numb anymore. You are not blind. You can feel the shift, that tightness in your chest, that heaviness breaking off. That's the Spirit of God lifting you. This is what happens when heaven invades a moment. The lies begin to fall off, the shame begins to break, the weight begins to move, and you begin to remember who you are. Comment 333 to declare your faith is rising again in the presence of God. Could your brain be the reason you're still broke? Scientists just confirmed. A 9-word sentence hidden deep in your subconscious may be blocking money from your life. But now, you can reverse it. Say these 9 words and wealth starts to follow you, starting today. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. God isn't angry with you. He's angry at what's been stealing from you. Angry at the time you lost. Angry at the peace that was robbed, angry at the confidence that was shattered because of one person's curse. But He's not just angry, He's acting. He is flipping the very foundation the curse stood on. He is uprooting every word that was spoken in pride, and He is doing it for you, not because you earned it, not because you prayed a perfect prayer, but because you are His, and the covenant He made with you is stronger than any curse ever spoken against you. His blood speaks louder, His name breaks stronger, and His presence makes the enemy tremble. That's why the enemy has tried so hard to confuse you, to wear you out, to distract you, because he knows what's coming if you stay in agreement with heaven. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. The curse already lost its grip now. It's about finalizing your freedom. God is calling you not to just feel inspired for a moment, but to live differently, to walk with authority, to speak like someone who knows what they carry. Because the curse wanted to silence you, but God is giving you your voice back. And with that voice, you will prophesy over your own life. You will say what God says. You will reject every lie and every label placed on you by people who didn't see your worth. You are not the failure they predicted. You are not the mistake they whispered about. You are not the mess they assumed you'd become. You are a child of God, chosen, appointed, protected, and covered. There is still time, but don't delay. God keeps repeating himself because he knows how easy it is for us to dismiss his voice. He knows the enemy will try to convince you this doesn't matter, that you've heard it all before. But this is different. This is holy. This is the cry of a father who sees the final moments of a curse trying to root itself, and who is determined to break it before midnight. Before 11:45 p.m., heaven is asking you to respond, to believe again, to declare again, to pray like your life depends on it because your future does, not in fear, but in faith. Because God already knows the victory is yours if you'll walk into it. But it takes agreement, surrender, humility, a heart that says, God, I don't want what they said over me. I want what you said. I want the life you promised. He is not done. There's still more coming, still more that he wants to pour into your life. But the curse has to go, the doubt has to die, the fear has to fall. And right now, his voice is strong enough to tear all of it down. If you let it, this moment is not just about surviving, it's about reclaiming what was yours all along. Joy, peace, clarity, purpose, confidence, love. You will not walk into another season carrying the curse of someone else's jealousy. God is severing the tie. Heaven is rewriting the story. And your name is still on the blessing. God says, I order you to open this message immediately by 11:40, 1 p.m. This is not a joke. This is about your money. 2 people from your family are taking all of it. Open this message immediately. You need to hear this right now. This is not a message you can afford to scroll past. Not tomorrow, not later, right now. Because what I'm about to reveal is already in motion. Something sacred is being stolen from you, not only your money, but your peace, your stability, and your promise. Yes, you heard me. This is not about fear. This is about truth. 2 hands close to you are working behind your back. I see it. I know it. And I'm telling you before, it's too late. If you believe I've led you here for a reason, comment Amen. I am not speaking to your ears. I am speaking to your spirit. I have watched the long nights you've cried over what's missing, the weight you've carried that you couldn't explain, the strange silence in your finances, the tension in your home, the way your blessings seem delayed. It has not been in your head. It's been happening, but not unseen, not untouched. I have been watching everything. You need to understand the reason I'm speaking now. There are 2 people who have taken advantage of your love, your kindness, and your blind trust. They do not move in light. They whisper in darkness. They drain what I intended for your good. But I will not let it continue. Not if you choose to hear me. I did not give you favor for it to be stolen. I did not bless your hands so others could rob them behind your back. If your heart is pounding right now, it's because your spirit already knew something was wrong. You just didn't have the proof, but I did, and I've waited for the moment you would be ready to hear it. Ready to take back what belongs to you. Ready to protect what I gave you. If you trust this, comment 1111. I want you to understand that this is not just about money, this is about manipulation. These 2 individuals have been speaking lies. They wear smiles around you. They laugh when you're near, but behind that is envy, control, and greed. You may have sensed it. You may have dismissed it. But today I bring it to light, because it cannot stay hidden anymore. I am your protector. I am your provider. I do not bring warnings to scare you. I bring them to save you. This is your moment to listen closely, to move wisely, to break the pattern that has been quietly destroying what I meant to multiply in your life. I know the pain of betrayal. I know the heaviness of disappointment. I know how it breaks you to realize the ones you once trusted may not be who you thought they were. But do not let sorrow stop you from standing in truth. Do not let sentiment blind you from what I am revealing, because what is at stake is too great. Your breakthrough is waiting on the other side of your awareness. If this has reached you and your spirit is unsettled, it is not coincidence, it is confirmation. And I want you to take a breath right now, because I am still with you. I am still covering you. Nothing that was stolen is beyond my reach to restore. Please like this video if your heart knows this word is for you. I speak not to impress you, but to awaken you. That was never random. Those were signs, warnings, whispers from me that something beneath the surface wasn't right. You gave and gave, believing you were planting seeds in love. But I watched what others did with your trust. They twisted it. They turned your love into a weapon against you. And now I step in. You were never meant to live in lack, never meant to live confused, questioning your own intuition, walking around with the weight of what you couldn't explain. You tried to shake it off, convinced yourself to stay quiet, convinced yourself not to accuse anyone. You didn't want to believe someone so close could do something so low. But child, your silence became their opportunity. And now, I am the voice that will speak what you've been too afraid to say. If you feel this deep in your chest, comment 222. They wanted what you have, but they didn't want to do what you did to receive it. They envied your favor, but didn't witness the tears you cried in private, the nights you stayed faithful when no one was watching. They saw your glow, but never your pain. They only saw the fruit, not the fasting. And now they want to pick from a tree they never helped water. But that tree is mine, that favor is mine, that covering is mine, and they cannot touch what I have sealed. You've been carrying confusion, but I'm bringing clarity. You've been holding back your voice, but I'm giving you courage. You've been shrinking in the presence of people you should have confronted, but I am lifting your head. You are not crazy, you are not weak, you are not paranoid. What you sensed was real. What you felt was valid. And now I will confirm it all. There is a shift happening now. You can't see it with your eyes, but feel it in your bones. What they plotted in darkness is now exposed in my light. They cannot keep what I never gave them. They cannot destroy what I protect. I have gone ahead of you to make sure justice is served, not with hatred, but with holy authority. This is not revenge. This is restoration. A neuroscientist says yes. A 9-word script, long buried in government files, can fire up a prehistoric brainwave that pulls money in faster. This breakthrough is already under legal pressure and could disappear any second. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. They thought you were unprotected. They thought your silence meant surrender. But they didn't know who walks with you. They didn't know whose name covers you. I am not a silent God. I do not sleep. I have seen everything they said, everything they did, every transfer made without your knowledge, every conversation whispered in secret. And now, I speak a word louder than them all. Enough. If you know God is fighting for you, comment 333. Do not waste time in bitterness. Do not seek to harm them. Let me handle it. I am not just your father. I am your defender. I give and I take away. I elevate and I expose. You do not need to plead your case. You do not need to prove your worth. I will do that. I will reveal the truth in such a way that no one can deny it. And I will do it in my timing, not to shame you, but to free you. You've wondered why the money disappeared, why doors that used to open suddenly shut, why you felt drained even when you tried to rest. It wasn't just your imagination. You were being spiritually and emotionally robbed while your eyes were looking elsewhere. But today, the veil is lifting. I'm showing you who was smiling and stealing at the same time, who was praising you publicly but poisoning you privately. And when you see it, don't be surprised, don't be afraid, don't panic. Just remember this moment when I warned you, when I whispered, when I reached for you in love. I've seen the betrayal before you felt it. I saw the deceit before you caught it. And I allowed it to unfold just enough so that you would never return to it again. What breaks you today will protect you tomorrow. I'm not telling you this to hurt you. I'm telling you this to heal you. To remind you that I'm not just God of the storm, I'm God of the calm after. What they took will return multiplied. What they meant for harm will be the reason you rise. But first, you must be willing to walk away from what I expose. Don't cover it again. Don't protect what I'm pulling down. When I remove someone from your table, it's because they were eating with dirty hands. You will not walk into the next season with the same weights. This message is not about revenge. This is about freedom. This is about light breaking through. This is about restoring what you lost in silence. And I am doing it now, not later. Right now. You've cried, Lord, show me what I can't see. I'm answering you. I'm revealing. I'm exposing. And when the truth shakes you, I will hold you steady. When the mask falls off the people you trusted, I will still be there. When the noise gets loud, my voice will be louder. The money they stole, I will return it. The respect they tried to ruin, I will rebuild it. The plans they tried to block, I will accelerate them. But do not chase them, do not beg them. Let me handle what you cannot fix. I am not late. I am just in time. You are still chosen. You are still anointed. You are still protected. This was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to wake you up. Because the next blessing I'm sending is too big to be surrounded by fake love. You were never created to carry betrayal in your chest. You were never meant to walk around second-guessing the people closest to you. That weight you've been holding, that silent stress, that ache behind your smile, it has not gone unnoticed. I have seen the moments when you questioned your own worth because someone else took advantage of your trust. You didn't deserve that. You didn't ask for it. But now, I am stepping in, because what they meant to drain from you, I'm about to restore in ways you didn't even expect. If you receive this, comment 555. You may not understand why it had to happen this way. You may wonder why I didn't stop it sooner. But child, there are some truths that cannot be taught, they must be revealed. And I allowed this moment not to break you, but to open your eyes. Because what I have for you next requires a new level of clarity. You can no longer carry shadows into a season of light. You can no longer entertain dishonesty while asking me for increase. I had to let you feel the sting so you would finally close the door. But don't confuse my silence with absence. I have been working while you were weeping. I've been uncovering what was buried, pulling apart what they tried to hide. And soon, what was lost in the shadows will be brought into the open. The money, the peace, the trust, it will all be restored. And not just restored, but multiplied. You thought it was just about finances, but it was deeper than that. They weren't just stealing money, they were trying to interfere with your purpose. They weren't just hiding transactions, they were trying to rob you of confidence, of power, of joy. They wanted to confuse your spirit. But what they didn't know is that your spirit was mine, covered, watched over, chosen. The enemy cannot stop what I have ordained. They can try to delay it. They can speak against it. But no scheme formed against you will prosper. No lie will last. No plot will succeed, because I am not a man that I should lie. And when I declare freedom, nothing can chain you. Could your brain be the reason you're still broke? Scientists just confirmed a 9-word sentence hidden deep in your subconscious may be blocking money from your life, but now you can reverse it. Say these 9 words and wealth starts to follow you starting today. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. You have been fighting silent battles that no one knew about, smiling at people who wounded you, pretending you didn't notice the shift in their tone, the change in their attitude, the coldness behind their words. But I noticed. I caught it all. And now, I'm shifting things in your favor. If you believe I'm turning things around, comment 1212. Do not be afraid to let go. When I remove someone from your life, it's not to punish you, it's to protect your calling. Some people were only sent to be temporary, but you tried to make them permanent. Some people only clapped for you when you were losing. Now that I'm preparing to bless you, their hearts are being revealed. That is not betrayal. That is exposure. I am answering the prayers you forgot you prayed. The ones where you said, God, show me who's really for me. I'm doing just that, and I know the truth hurts. I know it leaves you shaking. But trust me, what I remove, I replace. What I strip, I restore. You are not losing, you're being positioned, elevated, unburdened, because I cannot bless a version of your life that is still entangled in dishonesty. I want to bless you fully, not halfway, and for that, the false attachments have to break. You have been patient, more than you should have been. You've forgiven people who never apologized. You've given to people who never said thank you. And still you showed up. Still you prayed. Still you believed. And now your season of justice is coming. Heaven has recorded every wrong, and I am the God who settles accounts. Those who tried to take what was yours are about to see what happens when I step into the situation. I do not fight fair. I fight holy, and I fight for those who are mine. Your name is written in my hand. Your steps are ordered. Your future is not in their hands, it's in mine. And no thief can steal what I have secured. Your finances are not ruined. Your blessings are not delayed forever. I am preparing a release so sudden it will silence every lie spoken against you. But first, I need you to believe again. Trust me again. Even after everything, even after they failed you. I never did. I never left. I never changed. I never stopped working behind the scenes, pulling things back into place. Yes, it took time. Yes, it hurt. But this is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where everything begins to make sense. There is money that was taken from you, but I know exactly where it went, and I am reclaiming it. Not through revenge, but through my power. Watch how I do it. Watch how I restore what was missing. Watch how I open a door no one saw coming. You won't have to manipulate anything. You won't have to prove anything. Just be still and let me work. You don't have to expose them. I will. You don't have to beg anyone to treat you right. I will bring the right people to your table. The ones who love you honestly. The ones who speak life. The ones who celebrate you without conditions. Because this next season needs clean hands around you. No more deception. No more silent pain. No more confusion masked as loyalty. I know you're tired. I know you're weary, but don't quit now. You are closer than you think. The release is already written in heaven. The breakthrough is already on the way. All I need is your faith. Not in them, in me. What you've endured quietly, I will reward publicly. What they laughed at in secret, I will bless in front of crowds. This is not just a recovery. This is a revelation of who you are, of what I placed in you, of how I'm going to use every ounce of pain for purpose. The enemy throws distractions. People start revealing their true intentions. Situations get messy, but that's not a sign to fear. It's proof that I'm near. Right now, pressure is being used to push you out of the places where you've been stuck too long. This discomfort is not punishment, it's preparation. If this part is speaking to your heart, comment 777. You may not see it, but I'm closer than ever. I'm already moving. I'm already shifting the weight from your shoulders. I'm already sending angels ahead of you to open doors no one else can block. What you thought was being delayed is actually being upgraded. You were praying for enough, I'm sending overflow. You were praying for survival, I'm giving you revival. But first, the lie had to break. The hands taking from your blessing had to be revealed. I won't bless deception, but I will bless obedience. And I will always bless truth. The people who took from you weren't just draining your accounts, they were draining your spirit. You smiled through it, kept giving, kept hoping, thinking maybe your goodness would soften their hearts. But they weren't interested in healing. They were comfortable in hiding. And they thought you'd never notice, but I did. I always did. And now I'm showing you the full picture, not to destroy you, but to free you from the illusion. It's okay to grieve what you thought they were. It's okay to feel pain in the revelation. But don't stay stuck there. The mourning will pass. And when it does, joy will come not just in your soul but in your hands. You will hold what was once out of reach. You will touch what was once stolen. Because I restore completely. I heal deeply. I redeem fully. You've been feeling a divine stirring lately, a sense that something is changing even if you can't explain it. That's because it is. I'm clearing space for something sacred, for something stable, for something that cannot be shaken by manipulation or lies. The foundation I'm laying now will last. The friendships I'm bringing now will be safe. The finances I'm returning will not be poisoned by guilt or shame. What I'm giving you now cannot be stolen, because this time your eyes are wide open. If you believe God is setting you up for restoration, comment 999. Why did 19,583 people suddenly become financially free last month? They all discovered a strange sentence. Just 9 words long, buried in neuroscience research and once hidden by the FBI. Now they're paying off debt, traveling the world, and living in homes they never thought they could afford. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. I want you to understand something. The enemy didn't go after your money because of greed alone. He went after it because he knew what you were going to do with it. He saw that you weren't selfish, that your heart was generous, that your plans were righteous. You were going to help others. Build something good, break generational patterns, and that terrified him. So he tried to drain your resources before the purpose could bloom. But here's what the enemy didn't see. I don't just give once. I give again, and again, and again. What was stolen was just the beginning. What's coming next will silence every accusation, every rumor, every lie. You are not empty. You are not ruined. You are not forgotten. You are my vessel, and I fill what's been emptied. I mend what's been broken. You don't need to go into the next season with suspicion or bitterness. You don't need to hold grudges. You need to hold peace, because I will vindicate you. I will provide for you. I will surround you with people who don't want what you have, they just want to see you shine. Your tribe is changing. Your circle is shifting. I'm removing the takers and replacing them with builders. This is not just about justice, it's about alignment. I'm aligning your heart, your home, your finances, and your future. No more guesswork, no more walking on eggshells. No more second-guessing your discernment. You will walk boldly, you will speak clearly, you will give wisely, and this time no one will be able to siphon your blessing behind your back. You asked me why things were tight lately, why it felt like every step forward came with 2 steps back. That's because the people around you were secretly pulling you backward. Your faith was strong, but your surroundings were shaky, and faith can't thrive where dishonor lives. So I allowed the pressure to reveal what your peace had been covering, and now the truth is here. You are not cursed. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. I'm positioning you for freedom, not just from their actions, but from the need to please anyone who disrespects your worth. You no longer need to shrink to be accepted. You no longer need to dim your light to be loved. Those days are over. I'm calling you to stand tall, with eyes wide open and hands ready to receive again. Do not worry about how I will do it. Just know that I will. I will restore the finances that were stolen. I will expose the lies that were spoken. I will protect the vision I placed inside of you. And I will provide everything you need to walk into your next chapter with boldness. They thought they took something permanent from you, but they forgot I am the source, not them. And when I restore with interest. You're not just getting back what you lost, you're getting back what you never thought you'd see. Joy you thought was gone, peace you forgot existed. Opportunities you didn't know were waiting. That's what I'm preparing. That's what's coming. They watched you fall, thinking you wouldn't rise again. But watch what I do next. Watch how I lift you. Watch how I vindicate you without you ever saying a word. Because your story isn't ending in silence, it's rising in glory. Let this be the moment you stop chasing explanations. You owe no one your peace. You owe no one your purpose. All you owe is your obedience to my voice. And that is enough. I will handle the rest. I will move the mountains. I was there, silent, yes, but never distant. I needed you to see what was hiding in plain sight. I needed you to come to the edge of yourself, so I could finally pull you into something higher. You trusted them, and they broke that trust. But now I ask you, can you trust me more? If your heart is open to believe again, comment 1010. I don't need your perfection. I don't ask you to fix everything on your own. I simply need your surrender. Let go of trying to figure it all out. Let go of holding yourself responsible for what others did. You are not at fault for their greed. You are not to blame for being generous. Your heart was pure, and even though they mishandled it, I will honor it. I will use the same heart they rejected to lift you higher than they ever expected. You've been sitting in silence, carrying what no one else knows, but I do. I see the ache, I see the guilt that doesn't belong to you, and I'm pulling it off. You won't walk into the next season carrying shame. You won't carry the weight of their choices. This is not your burden to bear. This is your moment to rise. They may have taken something from your hands, but they never touched your spirit. They never touched your favor. They never touched your calling. And now I am awakening everything they tried to bury. Every gift, every dream, every seed they hoped would dry up, I am breathing life into it again. And this time it will grow in full view of those who doubted you. They thought they ended your story. They didn't know I was just turning the page. If you know this is your page-turning moment, comment 1515. Could a 9-word ritual really be your key to financially freedom? What sounds like fiction is now being confirmed by science. Harvard researchers and FBI documents point to a hidden brain center that, when activated, draws in abundance naturally. This 9-word prayer has helped over 19,000 broke people attract wealth and live a life full of abundance. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. You've been quiet for too long, watching in silence, trying not to stir the waters. You thought maybe if you stayed still, things would settle. But things got worse, not better. That's because silence does not stop betrayal. Kindness does not cure deception, only truth does. And I am the God of truth. I am not asking you to fight them. I'm asking you to trust me while I fight for you. Because I'm not only restoring what was taken, I'm reversing the damage they tried to do to your confidence. I'm rebuilding your sense of safety. I'm restoring your voice. No more questioning yourself. No more wondering if you're too sensitive or too suspicious. What you felt was real. What you sensed was right. And now I'm removing the gaslighting that made you doubt your own discernment. You were made to walk in light, not confusion, not chaos, not fear. You were not created to live with one eye open and one hand guarding your back. That's not the life I promised you. That's not the abundance I spoke over you. So I'm tearing down every stronghold that kept you in survival mode. You will breathe freely again. You will sleep in peace. Because what once haunted you will now answer to me. And I want you to know this. You don't have to expose them with your words. I will expose them with my justice. You don't have to gather evidence. I already have it. You don't have to convince anyone of what they did. I will confirm what they denied. And when I do, your name will be cleared, not by force, but by favor. There is a harvest coming with your name on it. They tried to dig up your seed, but I watered it with tears. They tried to block your field, but I widened it in secret. And now, I'm bringing you into a place of harvest they'll have to watch grow, not because you need revenge, but because I need you to know what is meant for you cannot be stolen forever. This pain will not be wasted. It will be woven into purpose. It will become your fire, your wisdom, your voice. You won't just survive this, you'll teach others how to heal from it. Because I'm not just building back what you had, I'm building something they can't even recognize. That's why I had to pull them out now. They don't fit what I'm building next. The blessing I'm sending requires clean hands around you. Not perfect people, but honest ones. And they were not that. They played their part, and now their role is over. It's time to turn the page. It's time to let go. Not out of bitterness, but out of obedience. I have new people coming, ones who won't compete with you, but will cover you in prayer, ones who don't need to take from you to feel whole. Ones who honor your heart, not just your gifts. You thought you were losing everything, but really, I was cutting off what was never meant to stay. You asked me for more. You asked me for peace. You asked me for increase. This is the answer. Not wrapped in ease, but wrapped in truth. Because sometimes the truth must break through before the blessing can pour down. Don't fight it. Don't delay it. Just trust me. Trust that I know what I'm doing, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. You won't have to beg for provision. I am your source. You won't have to manipulate your way into blessing. I will place it in your path, and you won't have to question your value anymore. I'm showing you how precious you are to me. I would not speak like this unless I was preparing something great. I'm moving things, rearranging what you couldn't see, cleaning out what was blocking the flow. You are about to feel relief in your soul, not just in your bank account. Because my blessing touches every part of your life, not just what they took, but what you forgot you needed. You were about to pour more into hands that only planned to drain you. You were about to invest more trust into hearts that had no intention of honoring it. So I stopped it. I allowed you to feel it, not to punish you, but to redirect you. Because the path you were on would have cost you more than money. It would have cost you your peace. And I love you too much to let that happen. If you receive this word as your own, comment 1717. I don't reveal truth to destroy you. I reveal it to build you stronger than before. This time, you'll stand wiser. You'll move sharper. You'll listen to the quiet warnings I give you. No more ignoring the red flags because you love them. No more brushing off the unease in your spirit. I gave you discernment, and I'm sharpening it now, not to make you paranoid, but to protect your promise. You don't owe anyone access to your life just because you used to trust them. That season is over. That door is closed, and I want you to keep it closed. I'm guarding what's next. I'm preserving your future. I'm doing more than just healing your heart. I'm preserving your hands, your influence, your legacy. Because what I'm about to release through you is too precious to be mishandled again. There are financial blessings I'm releasing that will come suddenly. Unexpected refunds, open doors, people sowing into you without you even asking. But this time you'll be a better steward. You'll pause before you give. You'll listen for my voice before you trust again. Because you've learned, you've grown, and this time wisdom walks with you. They thought they fooled you, but they didn't fool me. And now my justice will speak, my hand will move, not to embarrass you, but to establish you. Because this is not about getting back at them, it's about getting you back to who you truly are before they tried to wear you down. If you're believing for divine justice, comment, Amen. What do brain surgeons and billionaires know that you don't? This 9-word money code, once reserved for elites, is now being shared with everyday people. And the results are mind-boggling: cash windfalls, cleared debt, and lifelong stress gone. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. There is a reason the warfare around you intensified. The closer you got to stepping into freedom, the harder the enemy tried to distract you. The closer you came to clarity, the more the lies increased. But child, listen to me. Confusion is not from me. Guilt that keeps you bound is not from me. I convict to heal, not to condemn. What you're feeling now, this shaking, this pulling away, this break from what you thought was secure, that is me rescuing you, because peace is coming, and not just a temporary moment of relief. I'm sending the kind of peace that will make you forget the years you spent crying behind closed doors, the kind of peace that will make your heart rest without fear of betrayal, the kind of peace that will remind you, this is what it feels like to be protected. This is what it feels like to be covered by a God who sees all, knows all, and still chooses to bless you. You may feel tired. You may feel like your faith is hanging on by a thread. But you haven't seen what I'm about to do yet. You haven't seen how I will take everything that was taken and turn it into testimony. You haven't seen how I will use the very betrayal that hurt you as a platform to elevate you. They thought they buried you, but they didn't know you were a seed. They will watch what blooms from the place they tried to ruin. They will hear about the favor that followed your name long after they tried to stain it, and they'll realize what they meant for harm only made you stronger. I'm bringing people into your life who will honor you, not use you, not tolerate you, but cover you, speak life into you, protect your name even when you're not in the room. These are the ones I've been preparing while you were healing, and they are coming. You will no longer have to defend yourself. I will do it. You will no longer have to explain why you pulled back. I will confirm it. I will give you peace in your decisions, strength in your silence, and joy in your obedience. Stop waiting for them to admit what they did. They may never confess. But I will make sure you heal regardless. I'm not waiting on their apology to bless you. I'm moving with or without it, because I don't need permission to restore my children. And I don't need them to release you. I already have. They were draining you in more ways than one. It wasn't just money, it was your energy, your hope, your sense of safety. And now that the cord has been cut, you will feel light again. You'll laugh without heaviness in your chest. You'll give without fear. You'll walk without looking over your shoulder, because I have broken the cycle. You've said, God, I don't know who to trust anymore. And I hear you. I know the wound is deep, but let me teach you to trust me first, before anyone else. Trust that I won't let you fall. Trust that I will guide you better than your feelings ever could. Trust that if I'm removing people from your life, I have a reason. And no, it's not to make you lonely, it's to make room for what's holy. You're not behind, you're not cursed, you're not forgotten, you're protected, you're redirected, you're still chosen. And I'm not done with you. This is not the end. This is the cleansing before the crown. Don't be afraid of starting fresh. I'm doing something new. And it begins with you letting go of what was and holding on to me. You're about to experience my protection in ways you've never seen before. What used to affect you won't even touch you. What used to delay you will be under your feet. What used to worry you will be powerless. Because this is not the season of being stolen from. This is the season of being stored up for. I've been clearing the ground. I've been tearing out the roots of deception. What once looked like stability was really false comfort. And I could not let you build your future on a cracked foundation. If you feel this shift rising in your life, comment 222. You ask me to bless you, and I will. But I love you too much to bless you while snakes still sit at your table. That is why things began to shake. That is why people started to fall away. That is why what felt secure started to feel strange. I needed you to feel the discomfort so you would stop holding on to what was slowly breaking you. They had access to you, not because they deserved it, but because you gave it out of love. But love is not permission for betrayal. Forgiveness is not a pass for hidden agendas. You gave them chances, you gave them time, and they wasted it. They twisted your goodness into something they could use. But I will not let them twist your future, not anymore. You may not have receipts for everything they did. You may not have the words to explain all the ways they took from you, but I do. I've seen what you couldn't. I've heard what you never knew was said behind your back. I've been keeping record not to shame them, but to protect you, and when I bring justice, it will be undeniable. They thought you wouldn't recover, that once they drained your trust, your money, your joy, you would crumble. But child, I don't raise people to crumble. I raise warriors. I raise kings and queens. And what I've placed in you is bigger than the damage they tried to cause. Your destiny doesn't bend to betrayal. If you believe I'm restoring you stronger, comment, Amen. Why is the government desperate to hide this 9-word prayer? A shocking FBI leak has just revealed a simple 9-word prayer, now letting everyday people erase debt and attract unstoppable wealth. Verified by leading scientists and supported by Harvard research, this at-home ritual is turning financial stress into a life of luxury. Dream homes, new cars, luxurious vacations, it's all within reach. But the government could take down this secret any moment. click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. You're going to wake up one morning and feel at peace where panic used to sit. Strength in the places you felt weakest. Gratitude in place of grief. Because that's what I do. I trade ashes for beauty. I trade sorrow for joy. And I'm not waiting for the perfect moment to do it. I'm doing it now. Even now, I'm softening your heart so that bitterness doesn't settle in. I'm healing your mind so that fear doesn't keep cycling. You've gone through enough already. You don't have to stay stuck in replaying the pain. I'm rewriting the story. I'm restoring the years that felt stolen, not just the money, the energy, the time, the peace. You've cried over what was lost. Now you will rejoice over what is returning. I'm bringing divine replacements. Where there was betrayal, I'm bringing loyalty. Where there was lack, I'm bringing overflow. Where there was deception, I'm bringing clarity. You don't have to search for these things. I'm placing them in your path. The right people, the right doors, the right timing. All of it aligned by my hand, not by your striving. I know you've grown tired. I know your faith has been stretched. But hear me, this is not the time to stop believing. This is not the time to quit. You are closer than ever to the very thing you almost gave up on. The pressure didn't come to crush you. It came to position you. I've been making room for better. They tried to curse what I already blessed. That's why it didn't work. They tried to stop what I ordained. That's why it failed. They tried to wound what I promised to protect. That's why you're still standing. You were never unguarded. Even in your most vulnerable moments, I had you. Even in the moments when you doubted yourself, I surrounded you. And now, I'm taking what the enemy meant for evil and turning it into a testimony that will shake every room you walk into. You thought this was the end of something, but it's the beginning of something you couldn't have imagined. You thought you were being broken, but you were actually being built. This isn't just restoration, it's transformation. You will never again have to lower your voice to be heard. You will never again have to question your worth based on someone else's betrayal. You will never again give away your peace for the sake of temporary comfort. This is your rise, and it's holy. So don't chase what I've removed. Don't explain why you're walking forward. Don't try to convince them to see your value. That's not your job. I will take care of that. I will reveal what they tried to keep hidden. I will speak on your behalf in ways no words could. I have chosen you for this time, for this climb, for this breakthrough. And everything that tried to break you was only confirming your call. The attacks you faced were not signs of weakness, they were signs of destiny. The enemy wouldn't fight you if you weren't carrying something powerful. And you are. So powerful, in fact, that even in the middle of betrayal, you still showed up, you still loved, you still gave. And that heart, wounded as it was, is the heart I'm healing. The heart I'm lifting, the heart I'm about to bless in front of those who once misused it. You don't have to prove anything anymore. Your peace will speak, your fruit will speak, your healing will speak. And when the blessings come, because they will, I want you to remember this. It was never them. It was always me. It was never their approval. It was my grace. It was never their money. It was my provision, not the betrayal, not the confusion, not the nights you prayed through tears asking, why me? I heard every word, and I held you through it all. If you believe this was all for a greater purpose, comment 333. They tried to make you believe you were losing everything, but what they couldn't see was what I was building behind the scenes. They only saw what was temporary. I saw what was eternal. They saw your weakness. I saw your resilience. And while they were busy taking, I was busy preparing a table, preparing a comeback. preparing a breakthrough that doesn't just recover what was stolen, it delivers something far greater. This is more than just getting back money. This is about recovering trust in yourself, in me, in the future I designed for you before anyone could put their hands on it. They tampered with what was sacred, but they never touched your identity. That's why I'm not just giving you what you lost, I'm giving you a new level of clarity, strength, and wisdom. You'll walk into rooms soon that you thought were closed forever. Doors that once slammed shut will swing open without effort. You'll sit in peace and know, deep in your soul, that no one can take what I've released to you. They may try, but it won't work this time. You've grown, you've seen too much, and now you're walking in discernment. If you know this season is different, comment 1111. I need you to believe this. The people who betrayed you were not stronger than my plan. Their choices may have delayed things, but they didn't cancel anything. I don't take orders from deception. I don't build futures based on lies. I build on truth. And the truth is, your future is still intact. Your calling is still alive. Your next chapter is still being written with power, with beauty, and with grace. Is it possible to attract money by simply speaking some miraculous words? This 9-word script, verified by Harvard and 6 neuroscience labs, proves you absolutely can. People are using it from their couch and reporting unexpected bank deposits, cleared debts, and upgraded lives. It takes less than 30 seconds. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. It may feel quiet right now, but don't mistake quiet for empty. I often work in the silence. I often heal while the world is still moving around you. You may not feel the shift right away, but it's happening. I'm repairing the broken pieces of your trust. I'm removing the fear that crept in when you were blindsided. I'm not just healing you for yourself, I'm healing you so you never settle for less again. Because what's coming next requires you to be whole. It requires you to walk with clear eyes. It requires you to know your worth so deeply that no counterfeit can confuse you again. That's why I've been slowing things down. Not to hurt you, but to build you up without distraction. I want you to hear me again, to see what's real again, to trust yourself again. You will no longer have to pretend everything is okay, because I'm making it okay. From the inside out, the ones who manipulated your kindness thought you'd always stay quiet, but they didn't know that your silence wasn't weakness, it was waiting. And now that I've spoken, things are going to shift. They will see what happens when my child gets up from the table they no longer belong at. When you walk away from confusion into clarity, from emotional survival into spiritual freedom, you will not have to relive this pain. This was the final lesson, the final exposure, the final breaking. From here, we build. From here, we rise. This is not the end of the road, it's the beginning of your recovery. I'm returning opportunities they thought they blocked. I'm opening channels of provision they never saw coming. I'm placing new strength in your hands so that you never have to depend on what hurt you. The ones who took from you were never your source. I am, and I will not let your trust in me go unanswered. I saw every act of kindness they twisted. I saw every dollar they mishandled. I saw the way they smiled while secretly pulling you down. But I let them reveal themselves, not so that you'd fall, but so you'd finally stop holding on to a lie. That release you feel, that's me freeing you from a future that was never supposed to include betrayal. That pressure you feel lifting, that's me removing the weight you carried that didn't belong to you. Now, you'll walk lighter, you'll speak freer, you'll breathe deeper, you'll think clearer. And most of all, you'll trust me more fully, because now you know, I don't just restore, I protect, I correct, I elevate, and I bless on time, every time. You've come through the fire. But you're not burned. You've walked through betrayal, but you're not broken. You've seen the worst, but the best is still ahead. This is your confirmation. You are stepping out of the fog. You are stepping into favor. You are being restored in public after being broken in private. And when the blessings begin to pour in, you will know it had nothing to do with their approval and everything to do with my love. But hear me, this is not the end of your story. What they meant to break in you will be the very thing I used to build something eternal. They didn't just betray you, they betrayed the trust I placed in you. And for that I'm stepping in. If you've been silently holding these questions, comment 777. They thought they would get away with it, thought their actions would stay hidden. But I do not blink. I do not miss a single move. Every lie whispered, every secret deal made, every decision they thought was covered in silence, I have seen it, and now I'm making it right. You don't have to expose them. I will. You don't have to defend your name. I will raise it up. You don't have to beg for justice. I already decreed it. You've been tired lately, not just physically, but spiritually. Because carrying what doesn't belong to you will always feel heavy. Carrying disappointment, shame, confusion, it all adds weight. But I'm lifting it now. I'm breaking the agreement you unknowingly made with pain. You are not what happened to you. You are who I say you are, and I call you healed. I call you chosen. I call you restored. There's a stillness I'm calling you into. Not because I want you to sit in sadness, but because I want you to hear me again. With everything that's been loud around you, the worry, the betrayal, the confusion, you forgot what my voice sounded like. Let me remind you, my voice is peace, my voice is strength. My voice is not rushed, not harsh, not filled with fear. My voice speaks freedom, and I am speaking to you now. If you trust me to speak louder than the lies, comment 555. You will look back on this moment and realize it wasn't your downfall, it was your deliverance. You will remember how close you came to giving up, how tempted you were to believe that maybe the promise wasn't real. And then you'll remember how suddenly I turned it all around. Because when I restore, it doesn't come as a whisper, it comes like a wave. A wave that overtakes, overflows, and washes away every trace of what tried to steal your joy. They tried to rob you, not just of money, but of momentum. They didn't want to just empty your accounts, they wanted to drain your hope. But I am not done. I'm still the God who multiplies what little you have left. I'm still the God who provides water in dry places. And I'm still the God who heals wounds that no one else even sees. What if everything you've been taught about money is a lie? A hidden 9-word prayer buried in a classified FBI report is now helping thousands attract wealth without lifting a finger. Scientists say it activates a 150-million-year-old part of your brain that controls abundance. Harvard-backed, lab-tested, life-changing. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. The next days may still feel shaky. Healing isn't instant, but it is promised. I will walk with you through the rebuilding. I will show you how to trust again. I will bring people into your life who won't just say they care, they'll prove it. I will fill your cup again, slowly at first. Then suddenly, until it overflows in places where there used to be lack. This time, you'll be wiser. You'll be guarded, but not closed. You'll be generous, but not reckless. Because I'm rebuilding your heart with strength and softness together. I'm renewing your mind to think clearly, not fearfully. You are not who you were in the season you were wounded. You're evolving, and you're stepping into a version of yourself they tried to prevent from being born. They saw your potential and tried to bury it. But I planted it, and now it's rising. This growth won't be quiet. You've hidden long enough. You've played small to protect other people's comfort. You've silenced your gifts so others wouldn't feel threatened. But I didn't give you those gifts to hide them. I didn't bless you so you could keep apologizing for it. What I've placed on your life will shine. And those who try to dim your light will have no choice but to watch. They'll wonder how you survived, how you're still smiling, still building, still moving, and you'll know it was me. Every closed door, every severed tie, every painful revelation, it was me making room. I took away what was draining you, so I could give you what will sustain you. I removed what you thought you needed, so I could show you what you truly deserve. This is not the end. This is not your breaking point. This is the exact place where I begin to show you what I had planned all along. You've been through too much to settle. You've been burned too many times to keep walking blind. That's why I'm giving you sight, spiritual clarity, strength in your bones, and peace that doesn't make sense. You'll wake up and feel it, the shift, the release, the heaviness lifted, because it's already begun. This time, the favor will come without sorrow, the increase without strings, the friendships without confusion, the progress without sabotage. This is what I've been preparing for you, not just restoration, but redefinition. They knew how to pull from you, but they never knew how to pour into you, and that was the problem. Now I'm sending people who give without expecting to take, who stay without conditions, who see you for who you are, not what you can offer. This is the shift. Let the old fall away. Let it crumble. Let the ones who walked away stay gone, because what's ahead is too holy to share space with dishonor. You will not be tricked again. You will not be blindsided again. You will not be drained again. From this point forward, your steps are ordered with wisdom and peace. And nothing, absolutely nothing, they stole will remain in their hands. If this feels like it's opening something inside you, comment 1212. You were never meant to stay broken. That was never the plan. The cracks in your life were not signs of failure. They were the places I planned to pour my light through. And now, as the dust settles, you're going to see what I've been preparing behind the pain. I've been removing what you thought you needed so I could reveal what you truly deserve. And it's more than money, more than reputation. I'm restoring you from the inside out. There's a different kind of blessing coming. Not one you have to earn, not one you have to chase. It's coming because you endured, because you stayed when it hurt, because you believed even when things didn't make sense. You held on to hope by a thread, and that thread was enough for me to move. You see, I never needed you to be strong all the time. I just needed you to keep believing, and you did, quietly, faithfully. Even when you didn't feel anything, you still stood. That's why I'm answering now. That's why I'm moving what no one else could, because this kind of obedience doesn't go unnoticed in my kingdom. If you believe your quiet endurance is turning into breakthrough, comment, Amen. They thought the damage they caused would define you, that once they took what they wanted, you would shrink, disappear, be silenced. But what they failed to realize is that you were built with more than what they could steal. You are built with promise. And my promise is not tied to their opinion of you. It's not attached to what they tried to take. It stands on its own, firm, unshakable, timed perfectly. There's restoration coming in ways that won't make sense to the people around you. They'll wonder how you recovered so fast. How doors opened when it seemed like everything was against you. But you'll know it wasn't luck. It wasn't chance, it was me. I carried you through what should have crushed you.